Come on, bitch, let's go. Come on, get ready, bitches. You haven't seen nothing yet. Come on.
Versace, Lamborghini, Bugatti. I got money to burn. I'm single and I'm naughty.
Come on.
Tiffany's, Cartier, Gucci on Marty.
Come on.
Break out your black card, boys. It's time to party.
Come on.
Oh boy, I'm telling you, I'm having existential crises all over the place. Really, truly. So I was really upset and sad to hear that Teddi Mellencamp has been diagnosed with multiple brain tumors. She had 4 in total, 3 of which they put her into an emergency surgery to have them removed, and 1 they can't do yet, so they're going to have to treat it over time. The word is that obviously Kyle Richards is very devastated. Teddy's in sort of her own version of a nightmare. I can't even imagine how scary it must have been to receive this news. Unfortunately for me, although we have had petty fights or whatever, I haven't been really paying attention to some of the press that has been coming out about her. And I really feel bad about that now because I did not realize the struggles she's been going through with her skin cancer. Now, I just wanted to start today's show off with this because I want to make sure you guys know what she has been going through, because it kind of like went over my head, I guess, because there's been so much other stuff going on. And I, want to give this respect because Teddi Mellencamp has got a real battle ahead of her. I didn't realize how serious it all was until a few people reached out to me telling me what some of her friends were feeling about everything going on. I wasn't on Instagram when the news broke. And so I was hearing it more from like people that know Teddi, in person, like, oh God, oh no, and then some also medical people reached out to me and said that like, it's really serious. And I was like, oh my goodness, because of course, we banter and fight and, petty bullshit, but I would never want anything bad to happen to Teddi Mellencamp. And I want her to have a seamless and effortless recovery, because let me tell you, the road she's been on has been very difficult, unbeknownst to me. Now, let me read this to you because people, when this news broke, did a recap of what Teddi Mellencamp has been going through in her treatment. And maybe you weren't aware of it like me. And there's a lot to learn in this timeline that she went through. And so I'm going to bother to read it to you and some other exclusive tea in reality TV land. And then I am going to get into a shocking deep dive item about Karen Huger from Real Housewives of Potomac. And then, yes, I did a DOGE deep dive for you guys today. So I think you're going to really like it. But let's start with this People magazine article so you don't miss it. Okay, so Vanessa Edian published this story. It's a timeline of Teddi Mellencamp's cancer journey and how her melanoma may have spread to her brain. After having 17 melanoma spots removed, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum was diagnosed with multiple brain tumors. Over the years, Teddi Mellencamp has been transparent about her battle with skin cancer after having more than 17 different spots of melanoma removed. Now, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum, 43, revealed that she has been diagnosed with multiple brain tumors and will undergo surgery to remove some of them before beginning radiation. Although Mellencamp has not shared whether her brain tumors are a result of her past melanoma spots, melanoma skin cancer has a rapid growth rate and can be life-threatening. According to the National Institute of Health, up to 60% of patients with advanced melanoma develop brain metastasis during the course of their disease, and the presence of brain metastasis significantly worsens a patient's prognosis. This occurs when cancer cells migrate through the blood-brain barrier. Additionally, experts noted that when melanoma spreads to the brain, there's often more than one lesion at a time. As Mellencamp continues to share updates on her health, here's a complete timeline of the reality star's cancer journey so far. Now, the timeline I heard from some people on the ground was actually Teddi went into surgery on Wednesday, and then on Thursday morning, she was answering commands, and she was in a lot of pain, but she was like okay, like she was, because with you take out any tumor in the brain, there could be brain damage. There's a lot of issues that can erupt after the actual surgery and removal. So that was a really good sign, at least for this initial phase for her. But I was told literally it was a nightmare for the people around Teddi. And to be clear, when you have this type of cancer in the brain, a person could be dead in 6 months to 5 years. Like, this is really serious. This isn't like some flippant bullshit. This is like massive. So it's really important that you guys listen to this timeline I'm reading you. Anyway, March 2022, Teddi Mellencamp has a mole removed. In an Instagram post on March 17, 2022, Mellencamp urged her followers to get yearly skin checks after a doctor removed a mole from her back. She said she was avoiding her checkups due to anxiety until Kyle Richards noticed a mole on her back that had changed colors and made her schedule an appointment. Within minutes, she recalled, the doctor said it looks like melanoma, and he did a big removal. Now, that one we all kind of remember. Okay, then there was another one. While sharing a photo of her bandaged back on Instagram, Mellencamp revealed on October 11, 2022, that she was diagnosed with stage 2 melanoma. During a 3-month skin checkup, doctors discovered another abnormal spot near her last one and decided to do a biopsy, which revealed the skin cancer. This has been such a wake-up call for me, and I hope to all of you to love and protect the skin you're in, she wrote at the time. Days later, Mellencamp revealed that her doctors discovered several more cancerous moles. Due to so many melanomas in one area, they are worried to cut in there and try to remove them because they aren't sure what they would be cutting into, she wrote on October 18, 2022, sharing that her new treatment plan involved emission tomography, PET scan, and seeing a hematology specialist and surgical oncologist. In a follow-up post, Mellencamp said she would require wide excision surgery removal and naple mapping to see if the cancer spread to her lymph nodes. On December 7, 2022, the reality star shared a photo on Instagram showing off several scars on her back. She proudly revealed that she's cancer-free after having the melanoma spots surgically removed. So, I'm not recognizing, I guess, that all of these are individual new occurrences. I think I just thought they were the same occurrence being reported on, or maybe just didn't look at the dates and put it together. Pathology is back. The surgeries were successful and the margins are clear, she wrote. I also got genetic testing results and there are no mutations we need to worry about. And I just had a healthy mammogram. Please don't forego these either, ladies. So I say peace out to 11 melanomas and 3 lymph nodes. I gladly hardly knew ya, and hello to a new sense of peace. Mellencamp added, it's been eye-opening how quickly things can change, and it's a lesson I will never forget. Not quit speaking about. I want nothing more than for all of you to be proactive so you do not have to experience this. Let my scars be your inspiration to get preventative care. Then, January 2023, Teddi Mellencamp learned she has 3 more spots. Despite having numerous melanoma spots surgically removed and being declared cancer-free, Mellencamp developed 3 new spots just a month later. Now, I am really confused as to why her doctors did not start radiation treatment with this much reoccurrence. I don't understand why they're only doing removals. I mean, I'm no doctor, but it just seems like common sense to me. But maybe you guys out there are doctors and can tell me what you think about this and why they wouldn't have done that. I went in for my 4 to 6 week checkup and there were 3 new spots my doctors felt needed to be biopsied, she wrote on Instagram. I'm getting a lot of questions about the spots being white. I've had both white and brown melanomas. This is why I continue to share to get checked no matter what. The 2 T's in a Pod co-host said she was also having a bump on her neck biopsied after an ultrasound came back irregular, noting that she was trying her best to stay positive about her health setbacks. September 2023, Teddi Mellencamp reveals she's having surgery to remove another melanoma. Again, this is a different incident. Alongside a teary-eyed selfie, Mellencamp revealed that yet another melanoma was discovered on her back. She said she was debating sharing the news publicly, but remembered that in the past it served as a reminder to others to get checked for skin cancer. I found out late yesterday afternoon that the most recent spot biopsied is another melanoma. I can't even remember if this is the 12th or 13th one, she wrote. I'm so grateful for my 3-month checkups because we caught this one early. This means another surgery next week and additional biopsies. The following month, Mellencamp started using an immunotherapy cream as part of her treatment plan. However, in December of 2023, she shared a disappointing update that the treatment was unsuccessful. On December 26th, she underwent another wide excision surgery to remove the melanomas, which went well. On April 2024 through December 2024, Teddi Mellencamp undergoes to remove her 15th and 16th melanomas. On April 10, 2024, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum posted on her Instagram stories that for the 15th time she was going to have a melanoma spot surgically removed, this time from her arm. Mellencamp also shared in September of 2024 that she had had a 16th melanoma removed. In December, the TV personality said that after undergoing 20 surgeries and having 17 melanomas removed, she was in tears of relief after learning that she didn't need to undergo another biopsy for the first time in 2 years. The anxiety always takes over. The thought of another biopsy, another surgery, another addition to the scar on my back, she said, and I always end up crying. But today the tears were those of joy because for the first time there wasn't anything abnormal, nothing that needed an extra look, and I'm grateful. I feel so bad for Teddi going through all this. My goodness. Shame on me. I wish I had known this. I mean, I wouldn't have even talked about, all the scandals she's been involved with because I didn't know this was happening this much. I really didn't. February 2025, Teddi Mellencamp is hospitalized and diagnosed with multiple brain tumors. On February 12th, Mellencamp revealed that after weeks of suffering from severe and debilitating headaches, she was hospitalized. After a CAT scan and MRI, doctors found multiple tumors on my brain, which they believe have been growing for at least 6 months, she shared. Mellencamp said 2 of the tumors will be surgically removed, sharing a video while getting her head shaved, and the remaining tumors will be treated with radiation at a later date. I'm blessed to be surrounded by my children, family, friends, doctors, nurses, surgeons who are doing everything possible to get me back into better health, she said. Wow. I'm telling you, I'm having so many existential breakdowns in my own head about so many things. And this is yet another how this can happen to someone as healthy as Teddi is, who eats so clean, who just, lives such a good life and is young and has so many children that need her. And even though her marriage is still going forward with a divorce, Edwin's at least there showing his support. I just want to say I'm sorry that I talked any shit about Teddi Mellencamp in the last few years going through something like this. This is big stuff, and I hope you get better real soon. All right, let's move on now to Karen Huger and the deep dive I did on the mystery man who supposedly was in her car the night of the DUI. And I'm going to share all the receipts in one go with you so you can really make a decision about this. I've seen like a little receipt there and a little receipt here, but now I want to give them all to you because tonight's the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 1. So we might as well get into this now.
Come on, bitch, let's go.
I had to revisit Karen Huger's DUI arrest because many people reached out about the statement that was made by her cast member, where the cast member said she heard that Karen Huger's boyfriend was in the car with her at the time that she crashed it and maybe ran away. We'll just leave that open-ended at the moment. I've discussed this on previous shows, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper based on what was said at the Potomac reunion. So let me play you the clip to remind you what was said by her cast member. And then I want to play you the body cam footage regarding whether or not she was driving in the places that she mentions it before she's arrested and put in the police car, because I have more to say on this. And just to be clear, her husband, Ray, is with her in the footage I'm going to play you later. So the police call him, he comes down and he's dealing with her, or she calls him, and he's dealing with her as she's going through being interviewed by the police before they take her away.
I want you to go watch the body cam footage, the 30-minute one, because I've been saying it ever since I saw it. At 8 minutes, at 8 seconds, right before they put the cuffs on her, it says verbatim. She says, I don't want to take the field sobriety test. Then she said to Ray, are we good? Ray said, I think we're good. You had an accident. You probably had a couple beers and didn't see the medium. And she said, no, I didn't drive the car either. And Ray said, oh. And then she said, for them to hop out, incredible. And then she said, secure you, how are you feeling? And then she asked the officer, can I talk to my husband? And then Ray said, so was he here?
Okay, so now I'm going to play you the relevant sound clips for you to hear. First, Karen says that she was driving the car to the police officer. Then later at the 8-minute mark where this cast member says, Karen says that she was not driving the car, but she gives us a few more clues actually than even were said at the reunion. So let me play it for you so you can hear them for yourself. And then I'm going to tell you what she actually says, because the cast member had it almost right, but she left a few things out. So you're going to hear it. When you don't watch video and you just listen to it, you hear it a lot better than when you actually are taking in imagery and listening. So that's why I wanted to do it on the podcast versus a video. Okay, so listen to this. Clip 1.
There's some bar phone up there.
Great.
There's some throw phone up there.
Remember?
I think it's...
You remember how to...
Okay, ma'am, can you get your driver's license for us, please?
No, you cannot.
Okay,
You ready?
Karen.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
She's not free to leave.
I understand this.
And
Okay, so
what do
you're
you
saying...
need to know? What do you need to know, sir?
Let me answer his questions. And
No, I'm the
No,
person that was
Karen.
driving.
Okay, you were the person that was driving. I understand that, but I need your driver's license. Can you get me your driver's license, please?
No.
Okay, why?
No, because I can't find it.
What?
Listen, darling.
I'll look for it.
Okay.
No,
All right,
right.
ma'am,
Karen,
can you stop? Can you stop?
You
for
were
me,
in an
please?
accident. There's no way to get around that.
Okay.
Where they drove me off the road there.
Who drove you? The people, somebody?
Yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
that was not my fault.
Ma'am, where are you coming from? Let's start with that.
What is your point?
Where are you driving from?
Why are you interviewing me?
Because you were in an accident and you appear to be impaired.
Well, I'm not. No, I appear, but
Okay,
I'm not.
that's right. That's
Are
why
you
I'm. That's
ready,
why I'm
honey?
asking questions.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, no, ma'am, you're not free to leave.
Honey,
You are not free to leave.
you can't go until we answer some
You
questions.
answer the question.
I'll answer the question.
You
Okay, then you stay
Okay.
right there then.
But you-
Okay, for me.
Don't
okay?
touch me.
All right, don't
Okay.
go anywhere then.
Don't touch me.
Karen, please.
Don't touch me.
I'm not touching you.
Listen.
You good?
I'm good.
You have it?
I'm good, but
You'll answer.
I will help you answer the questions. Okay?
Where is she coming from?
Okay. She was visiting a friend. I guess David called, I guess,
She's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm Karen.
Montgomery County Police.
I would rather,
Remember,
I
it is
don't
being
like
video,
her.
not a
Okay,
report.
so I'd rather
It's
her
okay.
not do a lot of talking at this point anyhow, because she's probably a little bit upset
Well,
after
sure,
the
sure.
thing, so she's...
Can I ask you where you're coming from
Results.
tonight? Ma'am. She said she was coming from a friend's house. Okay. Which way were you driving on Oakland?
Where you have it?
Yeah,
Were you coming from Bradley?
You have it?
I'll take a look.
Yes.
You're coming from Bradley?
Well, wait. Wait, did you see it? Yes. Thank you.
You were driving on Bradley or from Bradley? Do you remember the accident?
There'll be a one down with car rescue the over.
Yes.
Okay. What happened?
Actually, nothing really. Breaking honey.
Yeah, it's just that somebody ran you off the road.
They did.
Someone ran you off the road? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember that vehicle at all?
No.
No, you don't? Okay.
Wait.
So in this part of the arrest footage clip, she says she was driving the car. Someone tried to run her off the road. She was at some friend's house, maybe named David, okay? And obviously it's Ray, her husband, who's with her at the time, trying to coordinate with the cops. And he's trying not to incriminate her at the same time as answering questions to try to be, helpful to the police officer, because he's trying to avoid them immediately arresting her. But they're going to anyway, so we should have just said nothing and said, I'll go with you and take her to the station. Even if you have to go to jail, you should always have a lawyer present when you answer any questions from law enforcement. Okay, so now listen to clip 2. This is the 8-minute one that the cast member refers to.
My point is I have an investigation to do as a police officer.
I
Okay?
respect
Okay,
that.
yeah, let them do this investigation. You had an accident, just thank God you're not hurt bad or anything like that.
Can I conduct some field sobriety on you, ma'am?
And we'll make the
No,
best
sir.
of it.
No.
You cannot.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we good?
I think we could be good. We had an accident. You probably did have a couple of beers. You didn't see the media.
No, I didn't drive the car either. And
Oh,
put down the stairs and stuff, but how loud? It was
huh?
incredible. The security hired for me. But talk to
So
my husband.
was he here?
I will talk to my husband.
You can talk to him, but you're not going anywhere.
I know what you will not do is tell me what I can't
All right,
say.
I want to place your
Don't, please, don't.
Are you doing that?
Yep.
Wow.
Now, she clearly says in the second one, she changes her story and she says, you know who was driving? It was the security guy you hired for me. And she may have even said the words hop out, like someone hopped out of the car. That is really hard to hear. And I had to listen to it about 10 times to even hear that. So I'm not 100 on that one, but you listen to it and see what you think. Now, why is that important? Because back in 2018, Ashley Darby shared a story that Karen Huger's stepson's wife revealed that her stepson claimed to have seen Blue Eyes together with Karen, but it was also alleged that he was Karen Huger's driver and that he was hired to drive Karen around. So that may mean that Blue Eyes is security hired by her husband, and he's aware that Blue Eyes is the driver of Karen Huger and he hires her to drive her around. And if there is a relationship going on, it's possible that in this instance, Karen Huger's driver was in fact her boyfriend who was driving her that night and some reason ran from the scene, which may have very well been that he was also drunk and potentially she was willing, because she loves him, to take the fall for him and like move over to the driver's seat or whatever. Now, it also could be that Karen was delusional on that night because she was also talking about being one of our founding fathers' concubines. I think it was Thomas Jefferson. In addition to that, she changes her stories on multiple fronts with everything. She's got a crazy runny nose. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe she was on something beyond alcohol. I don't know. I don't have her toxology, and she certainly didn't offer it and they didn't test for it. But the reality is that it also could be that she lied, and because she sometimes has a driver, said that was like a good way to address it. And she wanted to talk to her husband because she wanted to get him on the same page with her story. And so he could be like a witness that yes, he does hire her a driver and this and that. Now, what's really interesting is none of this is used in her defense. And she certainly wasn't hiding from her husband that her alleged boyfriend that's been all over TV was driving her that night. She tries to enroll him in this story in front of the cops. And that's when she gets the handcuffs thrown on her. So, I mean, that would be very unusual if your husband already thinks you're screwing your driver, which is the security that he hired for you. You wouldn't want to rope that in at that moment, especially to your husband that you're in a rough patch with, let's say, that, you know, is imminently going to file for divorce is the rumor. So I think what she did is she tried to come up with a defense on the fly later as she kind of thought about it, that she had a driver, it was the security that he hired, and then she was going to come up with some sort of story as to why the person left. But it doesn't make sense to me that she would confide this in her husband if it was her lover, and it doesn't make sense to me that she didn't use it in her defense if it was really true, because she's facing prison and she may love Blue Eyes and all her security dude, but that would be an instant out for her if she could prove that in court. So all she would have to do is call him and say, you've got to admit that you were the driver and then I'm out. And that's it, right? So what I have to believe in order to believe that what they said on the reunion is true is I have to believe that Karen Huger is willing to go to jail for the man that was in the car for her. And he is not willing to go to jail for her. And her husband knows about the affair. And it's not like that's why he's divorcing her. So I'm just telling you guys, that's a lot to consider. I tend to believe that Karen Huger made that up to try to get out of trouble on the day. I don't believe that someone fled the scene that was really driving the car, because she's not trying to keep it secret from her husband. And she would literally have to accept that she's willing to go to jail for someone who really did the wrongdoing. And actually, he isn't willing to do the same for her, which a woman of her stature and pride, I would assume, would not tolerate that from a man that she's serious about, right? She would be like, you need to step up for me, not the other way around. And I would have thought maybe they were trying to cover up an affair, which is why she would be willing to risk going to jail to not have that publicly come out. But it sounds like to me in that she's enrolling Ray, her husband, in the story that that's probably not the case. And the fact that she checked into rehab after seeing the video and didn't show up at the reunion, but did a video, which I think they're going to play at some point in the different parts. Now, the show, in case you didn't know, Real Housewives of Potomac, season 9 reunion, part 1, airs on February 16th. So that's later tonight. So you guys can see this. This was all dropped early in the teasers and stuff, which is how we know it's, what's said on the reunion about the car crash. But I wanted you guys to have this going into the reunion because I think it's really helpful to listen to the receipts in detail and really dissect them with all of it together so that you can really make a decision about it. That's my take. Interested to see your take as well. Now, before we move off this, Robin Dixon went on Watch What Happens Live and seems to indicate that Karen Huger has a serious drinking problem. Listen for the time that Robin says she's talking to Karen and she sounds weird.
What do you make of the verdict regarding Karen and her saying, I will be vindicated, etc.?
None of it's a surprise. None of it. The deflections, the lying, the fact that she was guilty, none of it's a surprise. It's sad, but it's not a surprise.
What did you think of the footage that was released from the body cam?
That sounded reminiscent of like the phone calls I would get from her at 10 a.m. in the morning.
10 a.m. in the morning?
Oh yeah, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., it doesn't matter.
Okay, what's your reaction to the fact that she did check herself into a rehab facility?
Deflection.
Okay. Just to point out,
yes.
Giselle, I think this is our first time on TV together since the verdict.
Yes.
Just to point out, Giselle is the one that gave Karen the grand dame name, even though she told the officer it was I. It was you.
It was me.
Yes, okay.
And people are confused because they haven't seen it. So somebody asked me, and it was done in our scissor reel.
Okay.
So our scissor reel, before we, were picked up.
Yes.
That's when I gave her the title.
Okay.
So all they've done so far on Potomac is drop this teaser, and I want to play you a small clip from it.
They said, you're on the show with Karen. She comes here every single day and she gets drunk.
One of these journalists had messaged me that there had been a person in the car with Karen who fled. Her boyfriend.
If she goes to jail, how will she do?
Not terrible. Well. Like you can't wear your wig.
So I think we put together a pretty good picture of what might have happened here, and also that Karen has not just a DUI, but a serious drinking problem. I'll leave it there for you guys to contemplate. Okay, so I have a little tea I want to spill to you guys before we get into the DOGE deep dive. And I know at the beginning of this episode, I said I wasn't going to talk about Teddi, and I'm not going to after today, but I've got to finish something that dropped at the same time as the announcement of her tumors, just because I was kind of involved with it. For the full scoop, join the Dishing Drama Dana Patreon. The link is in this audio description. It's only $6 a month, and you'll get the best information and tea about the things you care about, and even the things you don't know you care about. What are you waiting for?